what a Jets jersey is supposed to look like. Okay, everybody, welcome aboard here to the Sports Talk Nation. Michael Cohen here with you as we are going to discuss the Jets uniform reveal. Yes, now I did a video the other day about the leak that came out online, and I did a quick reaction to that. It's gotten a lot of hits. It's over 3,000 hits on that. And my initial reaction was positive. And then, of course, we get the official reveal. Now, I'm going to get to my feelings in a moment, but I do have a special guest. I promised you guys a special guest today for this program for the official reveal analysis. And joining me today is a writer from 24/7 Sports, and his name is Daniel Feuerstein. Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Michael. How are you?
Fantastic, Dan. So I'll get to my reaction in just a little bit. I want to get your reaction first about what we saw here last night as the Jets officially revealed their new look.
Well, in my personal belief, and it wasn't terrible. It wasn't something goofy or completely, from left field. Mm-hmm. I thought they looked decent. I think that's a good sign that they looked decent. The color scheme was not terrible. I don't like the black alternates that they're probably going to use for Thursday Night Football or their color rush jerseys, whatever you want to call them. The white ones were fine. The green ones were fine. I did not have a problem with the change. Now, obviously, I wish they would stick with the original. Mm-hmm. Like they have for the last 20 years. You can't go wrong with the original, color schemes, the original designs, the original helmets, the white helmets with the two green trim lines going from the front to the back, the circular oval Jets logo with the NY behind it. But I will say this. This was actually not a bad concept. It will probably grow on me throughout the years, but I don't hate them. Mm-hmm. I'm not shouting to the rooftops I love them, but they're decent, and that's fine by me.
All right, well, here's my reaction, and this is now based on what we saw yesterday, the official reveal. Seeing it now in high definition and live, and seeing players actually wear them instead of some kind of photograph, which of course has its own artistic renderings to it. I was really bothered by it in many ways.
Here it comes.
Yes, here it comes. Here it comes. Come on, let's go. I was bothered by it in many ways. Now, yes, I did say the other day that it looked pretty good. If you compare it to some of the other Nike jerseys that are out there in the NFL that have been rebranded in recent years, like Seattle, Tampa Bay, Miami, Jacksonville's done it now twice. Yes, it's pretty good. You put it up against some of these other uniforms, it looks pretty good. I like the fact they kept the logo fairly similar to what we have seen over the last 20 years now. I don't mind having the NY, let's say, I guess technically removed from behind the word Jets, and you just have Jets splashed across the helmet. That's fine. That doesn't bother me too much. What bothered me about the uniform was you have these white stripes, or streaks, if you will, across the chest of the jersey, and you have in huge text New York. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, they play New Jersey. Well, we know it's the New York Jets, okay? We get it. They're the New York Jets. It has to say New York. I have no problem with that. It's the typeface is so huge. As far as it's saying New York, they could have shrunk that down a little bit. Maybe even just put the new Jet logo on the top of the jersey above the number instead. I would have done that. I would have been fine with that. The streaks bother me. It just doesn't make sense. I kind of get a Vikings 2006-7 vibe with that. And honestly, of the three uniforms, I can't believe I'm going to say this. The better one was the black. I can't believe I'm saying that. That's how weird looking these uniforms were. So when you initially look at them, when you first look at them, you catch your eye on them, you think of the 80s, 90s look. And I think that's been pretty much established by everybody. They all agree it has that look to it. Which is also a problem because when you think about it, when you think about that era, the 80s and the 90s, you think of a team that really struggled, that had a lot of bad seasons. You think of Rich Kotite and the team going 1-15 in 1996. But for me, if you are going to compare this uniform, this brand new uniform, to what the Jets have worn for the last 20 years, this new uniform is going to lose out. It's just the way it is. You compare the two uniforms, and I know it's not fair to do that, but if a lot of people are doing it right now, you compare the old uniform to this uniform, the old uniform is just going to win out. That's the case with this uniform, and if you compare any of the other teams, the old uniform, it always is going to win. That's just the way it is. The classic uniform is the classic uniform, you can't mess around with that. So, to me, I would have kept and this is going back now over a year, I would have been comfortable keeping the old uniform. I would have preferred the old uniform. That being said, we've known for almost a year that a new uniform was going to come. It's not half bad. It's pretty good. It's just not the classic uniform.
No, that's fine. I mean, look, like I said, I'd rather have tradition. I'd rather have
tradition.
Tradition. I mean, look, the Yankees will never remove the pinstripes, the interlocking NY. You'll never see the New York Football Giants go to a different colored blue. You'll never see the New York Rangers run away again from the traditional diagonal Rangers font in front of their jerseys. Once again, I wish they would have left it alone because the jersey's fine the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
But, the truth is, I don't have a problem with it. I don't think the font is that big. Let me say this.
Sure.
When you're saying the font is huge,
it just looks huge on the front of the jersey.
You know what? I don't think it is, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
The Cleveland Browns have their fonts.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Cleveland across the top of the numbers, that's legitimately huge.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but at the same time, the reaction's been pretty negative. There's a lot of people getting upset out there on social media.
Look, that's fine. Look, people are entitled to their opinions, but you know what? Be thankful it's not a clown jersey like what the Seahawks jersey is.
Cleveland Browns and Tampa Bay, and yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was my point the other day, and still my point. You compare it to the other Nike jerseys, it looks okay. It's not great.
No, it's not.
I'm not running out to Modell's and buying a jersey today, folks. Not going to happen at all. But
no.
No, what you did? Where is it? No,
not almost. I'm
almost.
About it.
You're thinking about it, okay? But again, if you compare it to the current Nike brand that's been going on, it's okay. It's not bad. I don't love it. I don't hate it.
No, I mean, look, like I said, it's a decent look. I mean, if I'm going to come on this show or any show and ask me, so what's your opinion about the Jets jerseys? Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. They look so great, which is incorrect. Like I said.
Are you trying to say something about some of the shows that were out there this morning? No.
Yes. How'd you know? But what I'm saying is that, look, I'm fully aware that, look, it's a decent look. I think it's a decent jersey. It's, I'm not asking it to be flashy.
Mm-hmm.
You can't argue with how great the original Jet jersey has been. Of course, that's the jersey of Joe Namath.
Mm-hmm.
That's the jersey of, of the current Jets, what Chad Pennington was playing in, Curtis Martin played in.
At the end of the day, Dan, and we're going to wrap this conversation up here. This is all about one thing. I like what Sam Darnold said yesterday. He said, "We have these new uniforms, but it doesn't matter unless we win. So if they don't win in these uniforms, they're going to be horrible. They win in these uniforms, it'll be no one's going to really notice." And I remember, and food for thought for that is this: two examples. One, the Patriots, and then the Broncos. The Broncos, you remember this, when they changed from the Orange Crush uniforms to what they currently have, which is this navy and they have the orange stripe down the side, and the same thing with the road uniforms with the navy stripe down the side. I remember the first time I saw that. I don't know how you felt. I thought it was god awful, and it's still not a great uniform. But you know what? They've won 3 Super Bowls in that uniform. They've had some success, and you just got to get used to it. Although I like to see them kind of change that uniform up a little bit, even though I do like the logo on the helmet. Patriots, remember, they changed it twice. They went from the red Pat the Patriot look to the royal blue jerseys with the current logo, and then they kept the logo, but then made their jerseys a deep navy. The year before, they went on their now 2-decade run of success, and now people say, and I remember when that jersey came out, I thought it was horrible, and you know what? They've had success, and you get used to it. So who knows? Maybe we'll get used to this if the Jets have some success.
Well, that's the hope, and we'll see what happens. But let me also say this real quick.
Yes.
When Reebok, and this is going to a different sport, when Reebok became the official apparel for the NHL, I hated them removing the bottom trim lines, those hoops on the bottom of the jerseys. Like, Toronto Maple Leafs, you have those hoops for the arm sleeves, and you got rid of the bottom, it's just a plain blue. I hate, it's just like what the New Jersey Devils jerseys are. I don't understand why you have to get rid of the bottom trims to make it look better, stylish. No, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. There has to be, what a real hockey jersey is supposed to be about. Just like we've talked about right now, what a real NFL jersey is about. Because you don't change tradition.
Tradition! Anyway.
You're terrible. Go ahead.
I am a terrible person. Thank you. But folks, that is really it. That's our recap of the jersey reveal, the official jersey reveal, for that matter. Look, Dan and I are in agreement. We both prefer the classic look to the Jets jersey. This look is okay, but it will be a acquired taste, I guess you could say, and will take some getting used to for a lot of us. But if you love it, if you really like it, it is an acquired taste. Remember, folks, to follow us on the social media at OpenMicNJ on Twitter, Facebook.com/OpenMicProgram, and of course, kill that like and subscribe button. Keep killing it. Right here on the Sports Talk Nation, your home for everything New York and New Jersey sports. For the one and only Dan Feuerstein, I'm Michael Cohen, and we'll talk to you next time.
Alas, poor Woody. I knew him well, Horatio. Before, his skull was pearl white, but now it's a bilious green. Obviously a Cosite skull.